Earl back to work. Okay. I sat down and I watched that game and Central Washington beat them. Yeah, they have a pretty good little football team. They're old school. They're old school run and stuff. But they have the same shot play crawling with the stuff. I think why they do the shotgun is they try to make it to where it has less. You have to get a really good center. Your centers have to be really good at making sure the ball gets snapped to the quarterback instead of lining up under center, where you can get stepped on, like what happened with the Lawrence kid the other day, and he almost tripped and stuff. So there's less things that can go wrong in close proximity with the big push and the fast and the snap and all that stuff. So I think that's why they changed from the wishbone to it's like the wishbone. They'll put three players in there, so they just changed the play calling thing because of the dynamic and the way that the plays are called and stuff. And so my favorite is still the wishbone, the power eye, the beer. Yeah. I like watching the big guys be able to pull and move and run block and do their thing, and then the runners be able to do their thing, and then you set like Coach Woodson used to do at New Mexico State, use the pass to set up the run, and yeah, so they can't stack the box on you because you can go over the top, and then you can run, and then if you have to pass, but for the most part, let the big guys let the linemen block, and but defensive guys, they love to stuff the run, and then they love to be able to stuff, so it's both, you're playing both, and you've played both sides of the ball. We all have, we've all played. If you're a receiver, running back, you've played defensive back, and you want to stop what they do to cross the ball on the line. So it's just one of those things. Is you just can't let your ego get the best of you. You're out there just having fun. Good job, And like I told you when I played basketball, you just tell the guys, the reason why that say is so spectacular, because if I was just shooting hoops with my friends, Bob, and when I'd goof around with my friends, that's what used to freak a lot of the jocks out, because I was that type of person. Like, I remember that guy, Tony Jackson, was all state at Peoria. I said, "You suck." I said, "I don't suck. I know I'm the best player in the fucking state, if not the country. But my friends are not jocks." And so when we got into it with that Polynesian kid that pushed me into his girlfriend because she laughed at him because he had it coming because he was being a dick. Me and my friends, Bob was a good athlete. He was a track athlete. Link was a good basketball player. He was 6'4" and had long wingspan and big arms and stuff. And Brett and Darren were video game comic book. Were Kutapali and Wallowitz. Okay. So these five jocks from Thunderbird, we were out there playing and having fun because we'd go play sports. They need to exercise, When Brett would shoot, he'd take it with both hands and he'd slam and he'd bounce off the backboard. And every time he would shoot, we'd all yell, "Mortar!" And we'd all run and cover our heads because the rebound would come off. And when they came with their girlfriends to play ball and stuff, that's what we did, So we sat there, right when they showed up, that's what happened is Brett was shooting, and we all yelled mortar and ran, and we were goofing around, just having a good time. And they were all like, "We'll play you for the court." It's like, why? Well, there's 5 of us and 5 of you. We don't have to play for the court. I mean, if you want to play, you guys could play on that side or we could play on this. But since there's 5 of you and 5 of us, we could play against each other. That would be fun. We'll play for the court. What do you mean play for the court? How can you play for the court with the, I was kind of like having that conversation, like, what are you talking about playing for the court? All right. So basically what they were saying is if they beat us, we leave. We kicked their ass. It was funny. We had Kutapali and Wallowitz, okay, with the track athlete that couldn't shoot, but he would rebound and play defense. And then we had Link was a good ball player, lean and stuff. And then there was me against 5 jocks, football and basketball players from Thunderbird High. And we beat the shit out of them. They could not stop me. They'd put 3 on me, and Darren and Brett just took Took up space, right? Just like, and they didn't have to. They didn't even have to guard them. But I would give them the ball, but they would, mortar, and we'd laugh, and we'd even do it during the game, right? What do these guys think they're clowns? No, it's funny. It's part of the game. It's fun. Don't you get it? And the girls that were with the jocks were laughing, thinking, these guys are great. Okay. And then, of course, the hot Polynesians started getting mad. You're not supposed to like them. You're supposed to like us. I'm your boyfriend. It's like, yeah, but you're an asshole, and these guys are cool. It was a lot like Sam Witwicky's character on the Transformers, yeah. Well, it was real life, so it really happened. Right? So it's funny, but then when we were finishing him off, Lincoln, Bob gave me the ball, say, Earl, go at him. So I took the ball and went down the left side of the lane and was going to go up and just finish at the rim. And just when I did, the girlfriend was laughing because they deserved it. And the Polynesian kid came up and he defensive backed me. He came running across, he locked up his arms and he pushed me when I was in the air, like you do to a receiver or whatever. And he pushed me into her sitting on the bench. And I didn't want to hurt her and her friend, so I was falling. Of course, you just let go of the ball because, you want to save yourself from getting hurt and hurting other people. I was flying through the air, like with Patrick in the tub when I set him down, and I grabbed the back of the bench from the two girls so I wouldn't hurt them. Like when people push people in the crowd, or Larry Bird used to dive after balls. Well, he pushed me, and my body was, of course, out of control, and tried to gain control of my body so I didn't hit the two young ladies on the bench. I was trying to pull myself over and stop myself, but in the process of doing it, this ankle got bent completely over. Bob was pissed. He thought I broke it because my foot got bent over, and I was looking at the bottom of my shoe. It got bent over at a high ankle sprain. And it hurts. Yeah, ankle sprains hurt. Bob took me to the hospital. It really hurts. I've never had an ankle sprain that severe. I have bone spurs on this ankle still because it took chips of bone off with the tendon or whatever and stuff. It doesn't bug me much anymore at all. I'm old, but it doesn't bother me. It used to could, but now after all this chemical poisoning and stuff like that, it's like, like the same thing with my right testicle. It used to irritate me. Now, especially with the liver, my liver quiver, they did with the toxins in the liver through the synthetic toxins through the vaccine, and you can't sit there and say, it's the military, and both presidents are puppets for the military. So, Trump's was the puppet that gave us the economics for the COVID to kill everybody, and then, what's the other guy's name? Biden was the puppet that, it's okay, get vaccinated or you can't participate economically. And so, and I was trying to live the Lord's Prayer, so you stop mass murdering the poor for the wealthy because you want to clone or put your brain on a robot. Okay. In the year 95, okay, now it's been 10,000 years. Maybe it's only yesterday, right? And are these kids making these reactions to these videos and stuff, and you're just like, guys, how can you say how creepy the people in the military are and how creepy the president is and how creepy celebrities are when you're doing the same shit that they're doing for money instead of stand up for the Lord's Prayer? I mean, even Malcolm's and Betty's oldest daughter is doing it. Suing the people that use money to manipulate us for money to hit them in the pocketbook so they could, what? I don't think they're going to receive the lesson of, hey, I'm a Muslim and a Christian, we should all live the Lord's Prayer. I don't think suing them for $100 million is going to, I don't think that money's not real. Okay? All you're doing is stimulating the economy and having stupid people accept money as value and then do destructive things to the environment because they have the money to do so. No, I know a lot of people get off the grid and get solar panels and hide from the insanity and act like it doesn't happen and that they're going to cure it by not participating in it all by themselves out in the wilderness in Colorado. And look at how beautiful the planet is. Except for those guys right there doing donuts all over Lincoln's Park, right by the stack where everybody has to pay extortion to live here, but you have enough money that you can pay extortion in a comfortable manner according to you. You're fucking assholes. In the year 7510, if your ego's gonna quit, it ought to quit by then, right? It's like, fuck, you're assholes. And you don't think you are, but it's a group relative connected. You are affected by the others in the group. And your brain is assimilating to their brains in order to survive, okay? When you look at life eternally and you have faith in infinite glory, the only thing that keeps your brain not assimilating to the current group to survive is past, present, future operate at the same time. I am the spirit of John, David, Jesus, John. And you can't dispute that because it's scientifically valid. You can Sam Harris it and Richard Dawkins it all you want. It's not going to change. Oh, go meet you, you're a Kaku. Go Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't want to hear it. Beam me up, Scotty. Mysteries of the Smithsonian. There's no mystery to assholes killing each other over money. Don't do that. Live the Lord's Prayer. It's not hard. Apparently, it's the most difficult thing in the world. Apparently. I got to go get the little thing for the water valve, and I got to go see if the plugs, I'll go see where the plug's at, the one from Granny's thing, and go plug the thing and drain and weatherproof the air conditioners today. Then I'll run down tomorrow to the hardware store and see if they've got any, do the measurements on them and see if they've got any covers. You know, Dad's got these old ones and stuff, and I'm like, I just got to buy new covers for his. Mine got the coverage. His don't. They're all ripping and falling apart and being held together. The canvas is sold. Every time the wind blows, it rips and rips and rips. And he's like, Dad, I'm going to go get the $50, $100 or whatever it costs, $50 for each. And I'm going to go, because you cover them, it does stop the airflow from your heat. All heat rises, right? And so I got to go get him some new ones and stuff. He's it's funny they talked about it. Yeah, my dad is cheap and I'm frugal. I get that. I understand. I'm frugal and he's cheap. He doesn't want to spend the money because he believes the money's real and he prays to Jesus for it and wants to win the lottery so he can be comfortable. And I keep telling him, Dad, it's okay. And I understand he has a brain injury, and it's not just from the time he was very young. It's perpetual over, My dad is British. He's English. Tuppence. Okay. My mom is the one that's Granny Kramer's child. Okay. Mildred Kramer's child. And he walks with me and he talks with me. Okay. My grandma Parsons, there wasn't anything you could do about it. You had to survive. You can't change these people. You just have to believe in the magic show with Jesus in the clouds because it's your only way out. And the way my grandma thinks affects my father. And my grandfather, there was no way out, so you just drink and pickle yourself to death because it ain't going to fucking change and nobody can change it. Okay. Of my four grandparents, the only one that had a way of seeing that it would change, because he's right and he's true, was Mildred Kramer. But she's the line of the Holy Grail. Okay. So it makes sense that the other three didn't understand the true essence of the Messiah because they weren't the women that produced the Messiah. So it makes sense, right? If he's been turned into a cartoon character by rival gangs, all the rival gangs are going to believe in their cartoon character, Odin, Thor, Loki, yada. So Chris Baldwin makes so much more sense to me now. So that poor kid. He's, he's from the rival gangs. And he would say that, I don't come from that kind of people, I come from this. It's okay, he comes from the rival gang. And with my family, I can explain it to my nephews, and my nephews, yeah, Uncle Earl, you're right, but you can't believe that. They'll kill you. I know the Holy Grail told me the same thing. They will kill you. Have you read the Bible? Mary with Jesus? Okay, so It's easier said than done. And what goes around comes around, and life's eternal, grace is infinite. So it replicates itself. It perpetuates. His mom doesn't want him to do it. They'll kill you. Oh, Johnny, I feel you're unkind. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. Peace.